Hey everyone, it's Taisia. It is the first episode of my podcast about the Bible, and I'm very excited to see you all here. Today, let's dive into the fascinating topic of the creation story. And it is gonna be amazing. So, the first part we're gonna talk about is, of course, the Genesis, the creation, the topic of creation and how it all evolved. This narrative isn't just about where we come from, all of us. I was not born in America, but we all live on this earth. But it's about understanding the foundational beliefs that shape our cultures. And it doesn't matter where you was born and where are you from, we all human beings. To understand our cultures and identities, whether you're religious, spiritual, or just curious. I'm everything. I'm religious and I'm very curious and I learn a lot about religious. I go different religious school. I non-stop educate myself about religious. This is the most interesting topic we can talk about, in my opinion. Please write in the description, in the commenting section, what do you think about it? Creation story has something significant for all of us. It has something to offer for you and for me and for all of us. What is a creation story? I usually ask all of my followers to read the chapter or to listen it before you come to listen to my video, but it doesn't matter. It is always interesting to know what is a creation story. In different traditions, it explains how the universe and life came into being, which is very interesting. From the 7 days of creation and till this day, this is amazing and it still influences us. From the beginning, I usually with my followers, we read Bible together, but I don't want just to read. I want to talk to you about it. I want to hear your stories. So in commenting section, please write what do you think about the first chapter, about the creation chapter, and how it shaped you. It's very important to consider why these stories matter. They help us grasp our place in this world, teach us lessons about existence, about coexistence. And I'm sure a lot of you came to religion later in your life and started to be curious, what is it about and how can it teach you lesson about everything, about love, about respect for all living beings. And if you're gonna learn those narratives, we're gonna reflect on our understanding and change our life for better. We have an experiences on this earth, and religious really help us sometimes to understand who we are. That is why first chapter Genesis is very important for us. And it is my favorite chapter, even from my childhood. I loved it a lot. And it teaches us about values, about recognizing what is important. And why Genesis is so important? Because this chapter is incredible, because it sets the stage for the whole Bible and for the entire narrative. So it is the most important chapter to understand. You have to understand it. So let's jump right in. In Genesis, we see how God creates the world, and you can say, oh, I know this chapter, it's not interesting, let's just skip it. No, you have to talk about it, you have to understand that. He creates the world in 6 days. It all starts with a blank of canvas, with like nothing. It all starts with darkness, with chaos, and then God speaks into existence light, separating it from darkness. On the first day, he creates day and night, and right from the start, you can feel his power. And not only his power, but the power of his world, which is the most important. It's a clear depiction of order coming from chaos. And you can see the allegory with your life, how sometimes God can, from the chaos, he can help you to have everything you want. On the following days, God continues his creative work, shaping the sky, land, and waters, and bringing forth vegetation. By day 4, he creates the sun and the moon, appointing them to govern day and night. It's amazing to think about how everything was designed with such a purpose. The narrative emphasizes the goodness of creation. So we have to start the Bible with that. God declaring each part is good after he makes it. And this is my Bible. I'm gonna attach the link in description of this video so you know which one I use. And finally, on the 6th day, the last day, he creates humankind. God creates us in his image, which is very important, giving us dominion over the earth and a unique role in the garden he has made. That is very important. It's an extraordinary moment that highlights the value of humanity in the grand scheme of creation. And then, to top it off, God rests on the 7th day, which is very important. That's why we have Sundays. That's why we go to church on Sunday. It's so nice to refresh it in your memory, establishing a rhythm of work and rest, which is essential for all of us. So that's a quick overview of Genesis, and that is why it is so important to refresh it in your memory before you jump into second chapter. Chapter 1. So now you're going to know what is chapter 1. It's a profound account that invites us to reflect on our own place in the world. It is our history and reminds us of the power of creation, how important it is. Not only from the darkness he created light, but also humankind. Stay tuned for more insights as we continue exploring these amazing stories. This was just the first chapter, so it is pretty short. I just wanted to wish you a great week. If you don't have a Bible, you can just purchase it. This version is the best for that price. And I do have hundreds of different books, religious books at home, and I have different Bibles at home. I go to church every Sunday with my family, but this Bible is amazing. I highly recommend it to you because it is very easy to read and the pages are amazing, and I love it a lot. And during the live stream, I usually read chapter by chapter with my followers. They can ask me questions and I'm answering it from my perspective. And there are some other people who has knowledge. They can also help you out on your path. And again, we are not very professional with that, but I go educate myself about this subject, about the Bible, about religious every month, all my life for 30 years, and I'm very disciplined in that, and I will give you different advices on how I stay so consistent with Bible, how and which books help me to understand it, because it is very important not to read only Bible, but to understand it deeply. And in order to do that, you have to read different books from different authors, sometimes priests or knowledgeable people from different university. I read it so many times and I still have a lot of questions. And when you read different religious studies, you find answers very easily. God will give you that answers. Thank you for watching my channel. Like and subscribe. And see you next time on a next episode, next week, the same time. And be prepared, read the first chapter, which is after Genesis, right after, but also refresh Genesis, please. Bye.